Good morning, and you're still watching New Day here on TV3. My name is Anako Jafra with the sports update. Let's get into the details now. And Ghana and Al Ali Dubai forward Asamoah Gyan has confirmed that it will be hard for him to be fit in time to face Egypt in the 2018 FIFA World Cup qualifiers in 11 days. The Black Stars captain picked up an injury during his club's final training session on Tuesday ahead of the league encounter against Hatta. Gyan was excluded from the team that beat Hatta 6-0 yesterday due to injury, which forced the player to reveal that he is running out of time to make the Black Stars' crucial encounter against Egypt. According to Gyan, it will be very hard to participate in Ghana's encounter against the Pharaohs on the 13th of November in the 2018 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Meanwhile, news from Egypt indicates that Egypt have denied reports that they are making special security arrangements for Ghana's visit to Alexandria for a World Cup qualifier on November 13. Reports in sections of the Ghanaian media have claimed that the Egyptian authorities are making special security arrangements after uncovering an alleged plot to harm coach Avram Grant. But Egyptian media has described the report as false, and now an exclusive director of the Egypt FA, Thawat Swalman, says the stories are part of efforts to distract the attention from the game. He says the national team and Grant is not an issue and is confident that Egyptian security authorities can adequately secure the game in Alexandria. Egypt will allow 75,000 fans to watch the game in Alexandria for the first time since the stadium ban were imposed 2 years ago. The Pharaohs lead Ghana by 2 points and will take a giant step towards reaching their first World Cup since 1990 if they win and establish a 5-point advantage over the Black Stars. So to understand what really is going on in Cairo, we will be speaking to Marwan Ahmed, who is an Egyptian sports journalist. He works with kinfoot.com. Marwan, good morning and thank you very much for joining us here in Ghana. How is the feeling like in Cairo? We all understand that, you know, security issues and all of that. But most importantly, just like everybody in Cairo, I'm sure that you're waiting for that game on November 13.
Of course, people here have been waiting for around 3 years now after that night, that day in Kumasi. The Egyptians feel that now it's payback time. We have a much stronger, more fitter squad at the moment. Less players going into their 30s. They're all playing at top clubs as well. Egyptians feel optimistic going into this encounter, especially after Ghana's draw against Uganda in Tamale a few weeks ago. So this poses a big positive for the Pharaohs, as we know that if Egypt win, they might go 5 points clear. I'm not sure it will be an easy task for Ghana or any other country to catch up with Egypt if they do get that win on the 13th.
Marwan, give us, you know, a better understanding of what the Egyptian authorities are doing in relation to security issues, because, you know, there were alleged suggestions that, you know, fans have planned to attack Avram Grant and all of that. But the Egyptian authorities are saying that that is not the case. It will be a normal security for every national team that visits Egypt. Give us a better understanding of what the Egyptian authorities are saying about this.
Well, it's not just the Egyptian authorities. I find it weird that some Ghanaian media reported such things. Like, why would there be an attack on Grant? It's not like, for example, he's going to Iran, where he won't be allowed in. But this is not the first time that some reports from Ghana came out to destabilize the Egyptian national team. A few weeks ago, there was a report that said that there was 600,000 US dollars, or not 600,000, something like 600 million US dollars set aside for the Egyptian national team to qualify to the World Cup, which was totally not true, and there was no basis to it. There's no reason for the security in Egypt to tighten up ahead of Grant's arrival. He's just a football coach like any other. Nationality doesn't make a difference. We are welcoming the Ghanaian national team, not a single person to tighten up security on him. The Egyptian authorities have always treated each African or foreign country the same. They will get the same respect. They will get the same treatment. They won't get any less of conditions that other teams got in Egypt, for example, before. So there's no reason, no specific reason for the authorities to tighten up security or take special measures, and this was clearly stated by the EFA executive director Sarwat Suwailam yesterday when he said that there will be no special security measures taken ahead of Grant's arrival, which is completely fine and understandable because there's no reason to worry. We shouldn't give Ghana better treatment than other countries. We treat all countries equally, and not because of just one person.
I'm sure, Marwan, you've picked up the news that Samoa Jan, is unfit, picked up an injury, and maybe will not play a part in that game. I'm sure it's news you've picked up in Egypt. What is the feeling like knowing that the country's leading goal scorer might not be able to play that game?
For sure, this would be a big boost. He's not just the country's goal scorer; he's a proven goal scorer in a lot of places all over the world. Samoa Jan is the captain, he's the leader. His presence on the pitch, even though his performances as of late were not up to the standard we know, his presence alone matters. Egyptians will be it's like a sigh of fresh air, we see that it's an advantage for Egypt. They won't be with their top scorer, their leader, but the team doesn't always stand on one player. The Ghana national team has a lot of very good players playing at top clubs all over Europe. We shouldn't just focus on one player missing the match. They have a lot of players playing in big clubs that can cause threat at any time. Maybe the one advantage for Jan, other than he's the captain, is that he was present when Ghana faced Egypt 3 years ago in the World Cup qualifiers. Maybe that would be a bit of the difference, because several young players are in the team now. They might need his experience to guide them forward, and it won't be any easier with reports that Andre Ayew, Kwadwo Samoa, and maybe Kevin Prince Boateng will be missing. Ghana are also missing big players like Montari and Essien, for example. Yet the Ghanaian national team never stood on one player. They are a respectable opponent. We saw their performances in the World Cup and in the qualifiers. They can cause a surprise in Egypt, and we can't just think of one player as the threat to the national team.
Marwan Said, thank you very much for speaking to us from Cairo. We'll come back to you again, before the game on November 13. I know that a lot of you fans in Egypt, want to revenge that 6-1 drubbing at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi. We'll come back to you again. Thank you very much, and then have a wonderful day back in Cairo. So we've been speaking to Marwan Said, who works for Kinfoot.com, on issues relating to Ghana's FIFA World Cup against Egypt. It's a big game that everybody is looking forward to.